Welcome to Own Yours with DETV. I am Alicia Cooper Wells, known as Miss Cooper Home Loans. I am so excited to be here, and you probably are wondering what this key is about. This key stands for Knowledge Empowers You, but most importantly, it's my grandmother's house key, and I walk with her, and it's to make sure that I stay focused to help as many people as possible reach their financial goals.
It's your boy, Mr. Pursuit to Own. My job is simple. I'm going to need to show you how the power of ownership can change your life. My goal is to get you from watching to winning. What we got today?
Oh, you came in hot.
Come on, I'm ready. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Let's go.
So let's talk about what we've been doing. Let's start
with you. I mean, Miss International. Can we get a little play-by-play?
Yes. Yeah. So I just got back for my 40th birthday, finally 40.
Welcome to the club.
I went to the French Riviera, which was amazing.
Wow.
I spent one day in Paris, which was okay. But the biggest thing for my trip was actually visiting the country of Monaco.
Wow.
Monaco is the second smallest country, yet the wealthiest country in the world. And while being there, looking at the real estate, the infrastructure, it got me so excited about being back.
Look, I got to stick a pin in that. So you said the second wealthiest country in the world.
In the world.
So they always tell us what? Environment means everything. Man, what does it feel like to walk around or just be in that environment? What does it feel like?
You can feel it in the air.
Come on.
It is more millionaires per square foot. It's like 13,000 millionaires.
You need two more?
Huh?
They need two more.
Hey, they need all of us, right? We
go.
all deserve to be there, and we all can be there. But it really does start from a place of ownership, right? And that's why we're doing what we do today.
Absolutely.
While I was there, I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends who she has a dream of building a subdivision. And she owns an investment property, and she's starting to build up her portfolio. So we're having our conversation because when you're in that type of environment, you got to talk about money. You got to talk about wealth. So while we're there,
Did they have a money tree? I'm sorry. Did they have a money tree?
I did not see a money tree. Well, while we were there, we were talking, and I said to her, one of the things that I think new investors and developers tend to overlook when they're putting together distressed properties or new communities is how it may affect the city or the county, municipality when it comes to sewers.
Right. People don't want to talk about sewers, right?
In Delaware, in Newcastle County, we get our sewer bill every year. You pay it. You don't really think about what went into that sewer bill.
Right.
And then if you live off the grid, then you have a septic, and you might think a little bit more about your sewer bill because you're actually responsible for removing that waste from your home.
Right.
But financially, what does that mean? Right. So in Delaware, we've seen this kind of pushback on not wanting to have a whole lot of new buildings built, a whole lot of new communities come in.
Right.
And she was like, I'm getting angry. And I'm like, well, there's a reason to that.
That's a good point. Why wouldn't a place want new communities, new energy, new people running around shopping, why wouldn't they not want that?
Well, it's not that they don't want it. It always comes down to the real question. How do you pay for it, right? It's like everything. We want it, but how are we going to pay for it?
Right.
And I said, would you want to start thinking about every time you flush your toilet that, okay, it might cost me 5 cents to flush the toilet, and then it might cost me 10 cents to poop, right?
Yeah.
And I said, so we're having this candid conversation, and I'm like, in a new community where you might not have as many taxpayers to put in, you might be looking at 50 cents, to remove waste. Now you making different health choices, right?
Oh,
so,
man.
But then in Monaco, we get there, I'm like, I have to use the bathroom. We get inside the casino. It's a little line for the women. I'm used to that.
Yeah,
and then I get to the turnstile, and it's €1 to use the bathroom.
What is a euro? It's like a paper towel they give you when you walk in. What is a euro?
So euro is their currency, just like the dollar. I know
you paid
know
to go to the bathroom.
But I had to pay to go to the bathroom.
See, that's how you get rich people.
And this is where the ultra wealthy are.
Right.
But they have no sales tax.
Oh.
No property tax.
No property tax.
No property tax. So they use it as a savings account. They'll
Mm-hmm.
buy their mansions, spend a couple million.
Wow.
And what I mean by a couple, I'm talking about like 10, 17. I think there is the most expensive property there's like 750 million.
What could be in that house for
Oh, it is a
750 million?
villa that
Oh, wow.
it was owned by a Belgium king prince.
Wow.
So Monaco is not a kingdom. I learned that.
Okay.
It is a principality. So when a prince only has one region and that they have dominion over, it's a principality.
Wow.
And when you have more than one principality or one dominion that you control, then it's a kingdom.
Wow.
So Monaco is governed by a principality. And
Well, this is your own personal, you need to figure this out history, or they kind of enlighten you on your 14
oh no,
hour
so
ride there?
you know, these are my nerd moments
All
as
right,
I'm
good.
there and
Yeah.
wanting to know what
Right.
we do, right?
Right.
We get our foot in the door, we
Right.
bring the information back.
That's
so
right. That's the whole goal, people.
let you know,
Yeah.
if you go to Monaco, make sure you have some euros. 'Cause you
Make
want-
sure you're not going to the bathroom without your euros, all right?
And for those of you who are looking to develop here in the States,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your friend is your municipality, your
Right.
city. You need to think about how to handle the density, you know, the more toilets flushing. And when we can curate and tell our story
Right.
a lot better, the first part is knowing our numbers.
Right.
But then you have to be able to tell the story so that others can see how they can help you and make it happen.
That part is knowing the numbers and showing how it gonna benefit that city too, right? Really telling that story, because most time people don't want to think about it. They think about the end product, like, oh, let's start picking cabinets and this is what it's gonna look like. But it's a lot of work to get going, especially ground up in a new community with no running sewer pipes there yet, right? That's a long time. It's a lot of work that goes into that, and that's some of the things people don't. It's costly too, and people don't understand how costly it is.
You might see a piece of land,
Right.
and you're like, oh, I can buy this piece of land for
Yeah.
a couple thousand
Oh,
or
it's
even a couple
easy.
hundred.
Yeah.
But can you afford or even
Right.
put the infrastructure, which might be the house you're looking to put
Right,
on there?
right.
And then the second part is, how are you going to get the soft costs to get that running water, to get that sewer?
Right. And then sometimes when you build a community that's maybe not too far out, you get impact fees. So you gotta, so that one community have a additional fee than the normal place because of the cost it takes to put in the sewer. So it's a lot of things to think about when you
Right. So we're not here to discourage you, but we want to really make sure
Understand,
that
right.
you understand and you know that they actually want to have you build.
Right.
They want you to come
Please.
in. They want to, though, make sure that you've thought about all of this and
Can I get
you
another
can
one?
partner with them.
Traffic will stop everything. I mean, the traffic studies you got to do to show them you're not going to clog up the highways and at certain times. Like, I was amazed at that myself. That was one of the things that caught me off guard. It was like, where's your traffic study? I'm like, what's a traffic study?
Right.
So
And we see it happen.
Right.
Though. When we see the surveyor, the guy on the side of the
Right.
road with the little
Yeah, he's
easel,
looking in there.
and he's trying to calculate how many cars are coming by.
Right.
That's the traffic study. And those are the things when we just think about, okay, I'm going to buy some land. I hear this all the time. I'm buy
Right.
some land in your hometown, North
yeah.
Carolina.
Bring it. We
And,
need all of it. Come on.
And I'm going to build a house when I get older, not
Right.
understanding that
Right.
because of technology and the advancements of homes,
Mm-hmm.
now we have to look at a little bit more, such as the sewer. We got to look at the traffic study.
Right.
It's not just about can you just afford to put
Right.
a piece of property on the land.
So I'm more curious about this. When you say ultra wealthy, right? What kind of financing are they using over there? Like, we talk about they just spending money. How you think do they finance things, or do they finance things? That's a great.
I want you to know that was a great question
Yeah.
because on my research, I saw that it was one of the largest areas to receive a PPP loan.
Whoa! So y'all didn't catch that. But go ahead. Look, the rich got the game plan. Go
Yes.
ahead. Wow.
I think one of the largest loans there was for like $12 million.
That is crazy.
And if I had my phone on, I will pull it up.
Wow.
And we'll put some notes in the
That-
comments.
this is so good.
Yeah, but that was a great question. So
Right.
are they using financing? Yes. So they don't even have enough money to make this happen. They
Right.
have to have and get approved for loans and financing, even being the ultra wealthy. So what do you need in order to get approved for a loan in
Right.
today's climate? Because we've seen some real changes happen.
We didn't get those rate
recently.
cuts yet. What happened? I've been waiting. You've been waiting?
I've been waiting.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so with rates going up, we're seeing affordability going down.
Let me tell you something. I have never seen this in my life. I never seen rates are up at 8 or 9 and the houses still go up in value. Never seen it. Never seen it.
I'm going to say my own personal thought behind that is because of remote work. I'm finding, as a loan officer myself who still does home loans, that we're seeing an influx of someone taking their New York dollars
Right.
and buying in here in Delaware.
Migration, right.
So we're seeing a great migration happen, and that is why we're not necessarily seeing the prices come down, even though the rates are still up. I do believe people had to go into work every day
Right, right.
and live in their area, or if there was residency restrictions,
Right.
you know, I don't think we would see the great migrations
Right.
the way we're seeing it, which is blowing the basic economic lessons that we've learned
Yes.
throughout the years.
Wow. It's amazing because you're thinking about it and it's not going to stop. So my thought is, you know, when you know that we're like, what, 7, 8 million houses, units short, and then you got great migrations to places that don't really have a lot of population, but they're moving there. How do you control that? Like when it's just, you can't say, no, you can't come here. This ain't the border.
Right.
Right? So what are you going to do?
Well, you can't tell them they can't come, but what we are doing
Right.
is telling everyone, number one, you need to participate by owning.
Right.
And then we're also seeing something that had been overlooked,
Right.
which was distressed properties.
Right.
That's why you're seeing the city and the county and the state and the federal government
Right.
step in so heavy
Right.
to make sure that we can turn these distressed properties
Right.
into homes.
Right. And another teachable moment is when you see that, that is called sprawling, right? So if you from an area and you want to get in real estate, it's a great time because eventually it's going to get to you if you stay close enough to that, you know, path of progress. So that's another thing because we have seen the data, right? They are moving here, and it's only a certain amount of homes,
Right.
right? At some point, you know, it's an opportunity there. So
Yeah.
it's a great
so
time.
they're going to come off the path either to the right or to
Right,
the left. So
right.
if your house isn't in the prime
Right,
real estate,
right.
you could still benefit when someone purchases on the outskirts
That's right.
Of that path of progress.
Right. And that's a great strategy for someone just getting in, right? Because if you can't compete with some of the prime real estate stuff, and you're in it for the long haul, we're in it for the long haul, it takes a little patience, but that's a really good gateway in to get started.
So for all of you who are looking to start, the first step, I believe, is really looking at buying a home yourself.
Right.
So right now, under this current administration, the Biden-Harris administration, they are pushing for home ownership really hard.
Right.
They are pushing for home ownership. If you are first generational, that means that your mom, your grandparents, your dad
Right.
didn't own a home. They
Right.
have down payment assistance programs for you. I mean, now is a time if you're been sitting on the sideline and you're like, I'm waiting for house prices
Right.
to come
Can't
down
do
and I'm
that.
waiting for
Don't
interest
wait.
rates to come down. They're not coming down, but you
Nah.
might not need as much money that you may have needed before to get in.
But here's the other thing. It's the inverse perspective, right? Even just say the rates come down. The prices normally go up. We're not going to see the price come down, right? Because the supply and demand is just, it's too tight, right? So you can't wait. So these are phenomenal. I'm glad they're carving out things, put it that way, right? You know, because some people, they needed help. Now they need even more help. Now you're in a situation where now buyers have to pay a commission. If it's listening, don't get me started on that. So, you know, they're going to need a lot of these things. So I do think that, I love that. It's the Home Ownership Act, right? It's amazing. What month is this? This is,
Oh yeah, this is June, home ownership
oh,
month.
look at it. We got a month, people. Get
Yes,
out there.
and it's our birthday month.
Get out
so
there.
it's like,
Come on.
we were
Come
meant to
on.
talk about home
That's
ownership.
right. I knew I was here for a reason. I knew it. That's what it was. Home ownership in June, baby. Let's go.
So let me share with you guys a new program or product that has hit the market. It is the 100% financing for FHA.
Don't get too excited.
It is a 100% what we call CLTV, which is a combined loan to value. So you get your first loan for 96.5%, and then you're able to get a second loan as well for 3.5%. So you put them together, that's how you get to 100%. So you're not needing a down payment in order to get this property. All you'll need is money for your closing costs, and if you're working with a real estate agent or able to find a deal, you may even be able to ask the seller to cover that, so you're coming out of pocket with no money at all.
Now, is that a FHA loan?
Yes.
Wow.
So this was approved through HUD. So
Okay.
it is an FHA loan. Before, we only had the 100% financing
Right.
for a VA loan, which was through the Veteran Affairs, USDA, which required
People
you to
barely
buy
uses that, right?
in
That's great.
in an area that is. We
Rural.
talked about the path of progress. It
right.
means it's way
Over yonder, as they say.
off
now.
of the
Over
path of
yonder.
progress.
Yeah.
So, and to help people buy in those areas,
Right.
usually more agriculture farmers,
Right.
we see in those areas. Actually, Delaware, we used to have a really large USDA population, but now that our density has grown and more people have migrated here, the line has been pushed to lower Delaware
Right.
for USDA loans. But now FHA
Right.
has a program, and you know, we're always going to be here to tell you the
Right.
good, the bad, the ugly behind it.
Right.
So I want to say that this is a program that I do stand behind. But I want you to be aware of it. It is a CLTV, which
Right.
means it's two loans. They're combined together. The first loan you have at your FHA interest rate, and then the second loan is usually about 2% more.
Right.
And it is amortized. That means that the payment of the second loan is for 10 years. So you're making we're making one payment, but it's included to
Two
pay
loans,
both
right.
of the loans. Now, think about it. If you had to borrow 3.5%,
Right.
it's the same thing.
Same thing.
If you didn't already have the money saved.
Right.
And this is a way for you to get into a home now.
And what I like to caution people on, to your point, is like if you're taking on any kind of 100% product, make sure you plan to stay there for the long term, right? You know, make sure you're looking at 6-7 years, because that'll give you a little time to build some equity. I've seen people get into homes, they think they're going to be able to flip it in a year, buy a trade up in a year. It doesn't work, because appreciation, even though it's a little bit faster, but cost has went up so much. So just again, have a plan. We talk
Have
about this
a
all the
plan.
time. We talk about this all the time, right? Have a plan. Like, I think 5 to 7 years is a great time horizon for you. But now you have an asset. When you go to the bank, you're somebody, people. You're somebody.
That's the part I
Right.
think we overlook, and
Right.
why we push,
Right.
right? Why we're pushing
Right.
you to purchase a home. And it's because it changes your profile as an
Right.
individual.
a
And
net
I'm not
worth.
saying it's fair, I'm not saying it's right, but this is what goes along with it. The profile of a homeowner is seen to be more responsible.
Right.
All right. You often see you get lower interest rates when it comes to insurance rates.
Right.
You get lower interest rates when it comes to other products such as credit cards. That's why they ask you on there,
Right.
do you own or do you rent?
Right, it's a difference.
And even some business products,
Right.
business loan products at banks, they won't even provide the product to a
Right.
business owner unless they own
Right.
a home.
And the big thing is, I think from the mindset standpoint, it's more of a commitment, right? When they want to know, like, all right, if you're going to come, I'm going to give you this money, I need you to be committed, right? I need
Right.
you to know that you're going to in it for the long haul, and more or less. But think about anything. People get so worked up over that. But look, even if you're doing business or you have partners with, what are you looking for? You're looking for consistency, right? Everybody has to be consistent and somebody you can be reliable, right? That's all they're doing.
That's it.
They're doing it due diligence. So if you're doing that, you'll be fine,
Hey,
right?
so it's like giving you a head start. You're
Right.
now having the piece, like you're trying to figure out what are the missing pieces or what are the cheat codes.
Right.
That's it. Own.
Keep owning it. Keep owning. There's so many other things you can do when you own. Like, to that point, that don't mean you have to stay there forever. Like, that can one day be an Airbnb. It has many other exits you can use for, but it starts with a plan, and it starts with one. I think we're doing a great disservice by the media telling everyone that home ownership is dead. They're saying build to rent these days, right? That's a trick, right? That's a trick, people.
Hold on. You heard it. It's
That's
a trick. It's a
trick.
distraction
Right.
from now they're telling us it's build to rent,
right.
and you're
It's
seeing
look like a
Black
home.
Rock
Yeah.
buy it all
Amazon.
up. Amazon step in.
Yeah.
But those who are homeowners, they're winning.
Right.
They're able to access the equity in their home.
Right.
And that's after you have equity. Because
Right.
I find equity is one of those tricky things that people say, when you buy a house, and we're going to use simple numbers,
Right.
and you purchase it for $100,000 and you put down $10,000, that means you have $10,000 in equity, right? But it doesn't mean you can get the equity out.
Right.
And equity can get trapped in your four walls
Right.
if you don't position yourself with the right plan on how you're going to tap into your equity and when you're going to tap into the equity. So as the home value does appreciate and go up, and also you making your payments at the
Right.
same time, when you get to usually about a 20% equity position, that is when you might want to start putting a plan together on, hey, I want to tap into the
Right.
equity. Because that 20% that's there, you're not going to be able to get that unless you sell the home. If you're trying to get it through a loan,
Right.
you actually need to build more than 20% equity.
Right, and the thing that, here's a hack. Everybody like a hack, right? The hack is follow the money. That's been an age-old thing. But listen, they have research departments bigger than cities, right? They know this stuff, right? So when the market trends changes, they follow the trend. And so what they're doing is saying the thing that they just left alone, home on little houses, they didn't want them no more down. They know that is going to be a powerful asset in the future. Pay attention, people, right? Pay attention. That is why they're doing this stuff, right? It's like they're taking it off the market. Also, they're getting into affordable housing. Who knew? Who knew, right? You couldn't pay people to do this before. And now they're starting trying to make that investment institutional class. Pay attention, people. That's all I'm saying.
So let's talk about affordable housing, because
love it.
that's your get you all
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
What you got going on?
Oh, we got a lot going on. So we probably got 15 projects going at once now.
Okay.
One I'm really excited about is coming up next. It's a group of 5.
Okay.
And we're going to make homeowners. This is partnership. I love partnerships. Partnership is awesome. So this partnership will have Discover Bank, Stepping Stones Credit Union, Wilmington Housing Authority, Urban League. So it's this whole wraparound services we're doing for an individual. So
That's
again,
awesome.
we're not talking about credit, right? But they're going on the strength of their work histories. People that have just worked their butt off for years, and their employers actually are vouching for them. Like, look, that person deserves it. They just need a chance, right?
That's awesome.
Love that. So we're going to create 5 great new homeowners, and man, I'm excited because it's going to change their lives, and I love that.
So Delaware is very unique because we're small, and the wraparound services
Right.
definitely work. And I was actually someone who used those services
Right, they're great
when I
services, right.
purchased my first home. I went through Delaware Scholars, which got me into the banking industry in 10th grade, Nehemiah Gateway, which was a partnership for an IDA account
Right.
where they would match my savings. So I would put money in a savings account, and I actually would use my tax refund.
Right.
So I put my tax refund, and then they would draw it each month into the savings account, and then they would match it. And that gave me the money I needed
Right.
to purchase
But just look
my
at that
first home.
small effort you put because you knew it. You had the opportunity, and you were smart
Well,
enough to
I
do
didn't
it.
know.
They told you about it,
Oh,
right?
they told me, and
That's
they-
what I'm saying.
they-
Right. Once you learned about
Right.
it, you was able to do it. And right, I just think that's what people got to get a lot smarter with money at the end of the day, right? We're doing a lot of financial literacy stuff, but we still don't know how to use money. If that
Right.
makes sense to you, right? We're understanding what it can do, whatever, but it's more to it than the normal stuff you see. You got to understand the power of a euro, a dollar, whatever, but how to leverage it, right?
Definitely. And at the end of the day, today we talked about a lot
Right.
here.
It's a lot.
We talked about
We missed each other.
June, which is home ownership month.
Right.
So we let you know that there has been programs already out there.
Right.
Chris is a huge fan of NACA, constantly supporting them, speaking at their events.
Right.
Now HUD has approved a 100% FHA loan, which is amazing for those that just needed a little bit of help to
Just a
get
little bit.
across the finish line.
I was one of those people, believe that or not. That's crazy, right? But it is. It's life changing, and sometimes it takes just a little bit. And I love those responsible people because you know why? When you give those people opportunity, they don't let you down.
They don't.
No.
And I know those that are watching this.
That's right.
Hey, you are those people.
Come on.
And that's why we need you to own.
That's right.
So then we talked about Monaco. We talked about Monaco,
Look,
my trip to the French
I just want to
Riviera.
go feel what money feels like. I'm just want to, just lay out and just see if I come back richer.
Hey, I already feel it. I already feel it. We doing this thing together.
That's right.
And talking about how density and how sewer
Right.
and traffic control can
Right.
all play a part into, wanting to build.
Yeah,
So,
have it into your plan. You want to answer that question in your proposal.
so make sure you add that in.
Right.
And it's not that they don't want to approve you. They don't want to throw you off. We're giving you the cheat code so you know
Right.
to add that in,
Right.
especially right now, so that you can get your plan approved to build.
Right.
And then the final piece was the affordable housing.
Yes.
You sharing with everybody to let them know, hey, you see what's happening.
Right. Look, you wouldn't be shocked. And the thing I really like about it is, what affordable housing look like these days. People still have this stigma of what it looks like, and then the things that we're going to get to build from ground up, they're going to be beautiful, man. It's like it doesn't look like what you think it's going to look like. So again, people need to tap in when they can, because personally, not trying to scare anyone, I just think real estate going to keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
I think with AI, it's going to be harder to get these wage increases and jobs and things of that nature. So you need to asset people while you can.
Definitely. And talking about affordable housing, we plugged into the part that with your partnerships, you
Right.
can over improve the property,
Right.
You can now have these wraparound services that as an individual investor, you can't do that if you're trying to do it just for profit.
Cannot.
It won't work.
It
So
doesn't pencil, as we say.
you need those subsidies.
Right.
And those subsidies come from the partnerships, the relationships, and you have put together an amazing
Right.
team that wants to see that happen. And you guys can put together your teams, your partnerships. Most of them are going to still want to know something about your credit worthiness. And
Right.
again, credit worthiness is not just credit score.
No.
It's a character play.
Right.
It has to do with what do you do, how do you move when somebody's not watching you, how are you
Right.
paying those bills? And then the character part is, do you just put your head in the sand, or do you have a conversation and say,
Right.
this is what's going on and this is how I'm going to improve, this is what I'm going to do if this were to ever happen to me again? And really staying consistent and diligent.
And I think
to
the
the
big
team.
word, I just think the big word is trust, right? It's just like we're building a trust with each other, right? When you have more, I would say, credible partners, it makes it easier for a newer person to start something in a community, because you can lean on those guys. And it's a great, like, I like to reduce risk as well, right? They already have these services. Why not
Right.
use them, right?
Right.
So I think I'm really good at really putting those packages together, and I like doing this kind of work. So it's always fun for me.
And if you guys want to know about products and services in your area, reach out to us.
Right.
We joke, but we both have taken advantage of these programs
Right.
and products at where we started,
Right.
right? And then as you grow, but you cannot have an ego when you're first starting out or
Right.
feeling like you're above and beyond these products.
Right.
And then for the other side of it is you can't be needy and greedy at the same
Cannot,
time.
cannot.
So if you got it together, you may not be eligible for the programs,
Right.
But there are other partnership opportunities out there for you.
Right, and what I found is, even if you're not eligible for those, they still can help you in ways. They may say, hey, reach out to this person. It's more aligned, because once you put your plan out there and people actually want you to win with them, right?
Yeah.
They try to help you out, right? They be
Exactly.
like, hey, I can't help you today, but I know somebody. It might be you.
Hey.
It might send them your way.
Hey, I'm here for you, and I know you're here.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So home ownership is not just about buying a house,
No.
right? It's all about really putting the piece for your future. And it's that you now have the foresight to say, hey, I'm going to make a long-term investment.
Right.
So I'm going to make a short-term sacrifice for a long-term goal so I can create the life that I want, ideally. And you're taking a risk. You're
Right.
gambling. But who are you gambling on? You're betting on yourself. And that starts
I
in
like
the
that.
mind.
I like that. You got to bet on yourself. Look, I haven't done anything without betting on myself, because if you don't believe first, why does anybody else believe in you, right? And my thing I do a lot of as well, to your point, like, I'm really trying to teach people, like, look at a house as an asset, not your home, like you said, right? Because that's what get people all the time. It might be a great deal. It might be, the numbers may be great, but it don't look right. It doesn't look right. What do you think about that?
Hey, so I'm not emotionally attached to houses, and I do believe that that makes a difference.
Right, it does.
But I am emotionally connected to the impact.
Right.
So if you want to be emotional, you can,
Right.
but look at what the impact will be.
Right.
So it might not have the curtains you want,
Right.
it might not have the refrigerator, but what is the impact? How is your family going to feel to come home to what they can call home and own?
And own. It's amazing. I think we did a great show today.
Awesome. Well, guys, my name is Alicia Cooper Wells. I'm known as Miss Cooper Home Loans. I'm a wife, a mother, serial entrepreneur, but I want to help you own your home. Make sure you reach out to me at acooper@Miss Cooper Home Loans so that we can get you on the calendar
Let's go.
and start going. And if you have deals, make sure you're following us on our social media platforms.
We need deals.
Shoot us a DM. We want to be on here helping you break
Right.
down whether or not you have a deal or no deal
Love
as
it.
well. Now, for all of you who have taken the time to watch us this far, I need you to like, follow, and subscribe to this channel
That part.
so that we know that you are actually interested in what we're doing. We want to continue to put
Right.
out useful content that you find valuable, so that you got to let us know
Come on.
what you want us to talk about. But we're also going to share with you what we're doing, because success has receipts,
Right.
and it's definitely different when you do it in real life.
And I'm gonna piggyback on that, like the FHA loan they're talking about. But in general, like, we're giving you great practitioner work, right? We're doing the work. It's free, guys. Just pay attention. Like, we want to do this. We're doing it for you guys. I think she brought up a great word, impact. We're sitting here for impact, right? That's why, because we want our voices to be heard, because it's a lot of yous and me's out there, a lot of her out there. And we need more of you guys. I mean, you want to be a part of the conversation when you're talking about money or financial ecosystem, right? You only can do that by learning,
Exactly.
right?
So tune in and learn with us.
Right.
Chris, tell them how to get.
Well,
How they
you know,
get with
look, it is Mr. Pursuit to Own on everything. I need all the help. Please like, love, whatever you want to do. I need to get my game up, spread my love, right? But anyway, my job really is, like I said, really show you the power of ownership and get you from watching to winning.
All right. So tune in. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Follow DETV. We want to make sure that you own yours. I'm Alicia Cooper Wells.
Out. Christopher Pitt. Yeah.